Hello, today for review I've got Takstar HF580, their flagship model and at the same time the most affordable and one of the most affordable planar magnetic headphones that exist on the market. Everyone likes Takstar because this company really delivers good value for their price. They are well known for their own products by their own brand, and as a manufacturer that creates many more expensive models that sold by other brands. And HF580 is their planar magnetic flagship. It's interesting model, first of all, because of price. It's just $200, which is pretty good for planars. And hopefully they have a good sound, so let's find out that. It can be ordered from their AliExpress shop, from many retailers, so Takstar is popular and have a wide network of distributors. As you can see, package is traditional for the full-size headphones, not the smallest, not the hugest, so just proper size for the full-size cans, with nice good polygraphy. They didn't print technical specifications somewhere, but if I remember right, it's 32 ohms and 90 decibels of sensitivity. Not really sensitive model, but not toughest to drive too. Inside of that sleeve there is another box, so kind of premium packaging for the company. Lot of foam to secure protect your headphones. Short manual and headphones themselves. So let's put the box aside. You'll get two pair of ear pads, fabric and Fox leather ones. So really good offer for this price tire, better than many much more expensive models offers. Let's unpack the cable and zoom a little bit to show them better. In terms of design and build quality, they are good. For this price, I'd probably say they are pretty great. Not, of course, on par with some more expensive models. Cups are plastic, but there is enough metal in the construction. Overall design is pretty basic. Soft headband with proper clamping force, not too much, not too few. They will hold on head reliably, but at the same time they won't try to squish your brains out. They have a good amount of size adjustment, so you just retract them as much as you need, sliding pretty nicely. Cups have 2 degrees of freedom, so they can rotate to accommodate on your head. Construction overall is pretty reliable, and of course this shiny plastic gives fingerprints, but it's easy to wipe. They are open back, you can see grill here that improves the imaginary stage, but at the same time meaning of course almost no sound isolation, so it's not headphones to use on the street or in some quiet office. Your colleagues won't be happy with that. But at home, in quiet environment, they will give you a lot of enjoying listening sessions. They are not created for the portable usage, so you can't rotate cups flat like many models can do, but I don't think that it's necessary in this usage scenario. Ear cups are really comfortable, they are perforated, they have nice memory foam feeling inside, protective mesh, so really comfortable in terms of wearing. They have proper size, my ears fit here nicely, and thanks to this perforation and open back design, ears are not overheating. So for me they are comfortable even for long listening sessions, and I can say that for $200 it's nothing to complain about in terms of design. Cable here is not replaceable. From one hand it's strange, from another hand probably Takstar wanted to improve durability, because no connectors means better durability for the cable. It has strain reliefs and cable itself is pretty thick in rubber isolation, so you can see. I think it's durable and will serve you for a really long time. They have this screw adapter for 6.3mm or 3.5. Unfortunately, there is no option to make them balanced, but there is a pretty simple mode with installation of MMCX connectors here. Some people on HF5 do that. And at the same time, these headphones are really modding friendly. There is a lot of mods described all over the internet. Internals are easily accessible. You can experiment with different types of damping and other modifications of the sound, but about that we'll talk in the next part. And about the sound, of course, I will describe their representation in the stock version. There are tons of modifications that drastically change their sound. The easiest one is getting a bit thicker earbuds that changes sound signature. On the second place, different types of internal damping, then grill modes, and so on. As a player, just to show examples, I will use iBasso DX300. It's nice and it can power them pretty well. Not perfect, but pretty well, but more on pairing a bit later. I gave them about 60 hours of burn-in, but actually changes in sound were only during first few hours, so if you decide to buy them, you can start instantly listening them. And in terms of sound, actually they exceeded my expectation, because Takstar managed to create non-audiophilic representation, but representation for those who just likes music and want to get detailed and technical, but at the same time pretty musical representation. So they decided not to go into some colored sound. They decided not to make V-shaped signature. They are almost linear with slightly recessed treble to make sound comfortable, but not too much. And at the same time they didn't overdo that accent on the micro contrast, so they didn't make their sound too analytical, too clinical, too natural. So it's kind of sampler for the planar magnetic headphones. You can try them and decide, do you like such signature or not? And if you like, you can go to more expensive segment, get some more resolving models and so on. But chances are really high, if you don't want to go into that audiophilia, you can stay with them for a really long time, because they are technical, detailed, but at the same time fun and amusing. But enough talks, let's talk about everything step by step. So bass is almost linear and it goes into nice depths. It's not the model for those who want boosted bass, not for those who want really weighty low frequencies, but at the same time bass here is pretty punchy, and thanks to a good depth with a proper amplification it can deliver a really good slam and impact. But at the same time, in terms of weight, they staying on the natural side. They are really good in representing small nuances, but not over focusing them. They don't trying to be thin and analytical like some affordable planar magnetic headphones, and they don't sound natural, absolutely natural and weightless like, let's say, balanced armatures. So you'll have normal weight, but without accent, and you'll get a good slam. I like them actually with electronic music too, but of course for those who like bass quantity over quality, it's not the good choice. This model greatly shines with acoustic instruments with small nuances and overtones. But as an example, I decided to select different tracks. So it's Daft Punk, Giorgio by Moroder. It's that song that became really popular on YouTube with a lot of different meme short videos. And I like that bass here is not dominating, but sometimes it plays a vital role, and at the same time they have a really interesting drum part that really giving a strike contrast to the low frequencies. and they have good guitar part and all that components joining together with these headphones, delivering nice deep impactful bass, but at the same time clean and resolving mids sounding and that overall sounding pretty fun and engaging. Mid frequencies continue the overall idea of tuning of this model. They have a slight hint on the micro contrast, but at the same time not overdoing that. So you'll get small nuances and details, but you'll get a proper amount of them. You won't get them like grabbed and thrown in your face or making excessive accent on that. And this representation means that you'll get really natural instruments, really rich and well balanced. But at the same time you won't get models that is super nitpicking, that require only audiophilic tracks with absolutely stellar recording quality. Of course, poorly recorded material won't sound stellar with these headphones, because they will show you all the issues, but they at least won't highlight them. I really like how they balance vocals, both male and female. Male ones sounding nice and textured, and female sounds clean and crisp. Upper mids are slightly accented here, but also not too much. You know, not too much is probably the motto of these headphones, because everything is done pretty reasonably here. I'm not sure was it a result of tuning that is done on purpose, or it just a matter of getting proper drivers and not spoiling them. Anyway, result is really well balanced and sounding pretty good, especially taking price into account. So imaginary stage is above average both in width and in depth, not absolutely huge and three-dimensional, but with a proper amount of depth layering and width separation. And they, of course, good in representing small nuances and details. They don't adding weight and they don't boosting macro dynamics, so it's not the model to astonish you with that crazy dynamics, to highlight that. But with a good source and properly recorded tracks, you definitely won't be disappointed in this aspect too, because they will deliver all the nuances that is present in the track itself. And as an example for the mid frequencies, I've got Beauty by David Gilmour. Just a piece of nice music with good record quality, with interesting introduction, nice guitar part, lot of small and tiny nuances and things that Gilmour put in this track, and this model just bring you to this music, giving you nice sense of enjoyment, really well balancing between the details that you'll need to hear all that small things and overall musical representation, so in order not to sound lifeless and emotionless. And treble, it has a pretty good extension, above average, not superb, not super extended treble, and it's a bit recessed. Probably it was attempt to make them sound comfortable, but if you're sensitive to the treble, still you need to listen them before buying, because it's not definitely the model that sounds soft or safe or comfortable. Actually, it's comfortable for me, but it's not comfortable for everyone. And treble is typical planar magnetic headphones with a proper attacks and decays, nice weight distribution. Basic layering is present here, but layering is basic. But of course, good layering is a matter of much more expensive models. They deliver nice amount of overtones, making timbre-rich instruments sounding engaging and pretty organic. That slight decays and tiny nuances of sound is also present here, but at the same time not super highlighted like with more natural and monitoring sounding models. And as an example for the treble, I've got Sultans of Swing, but actually we can easily swap it with the previous track, with David Gilmour's one, because Gilmour's track has good percussions and bells, and this one also has a good percussions. This track can be used as a test for mid frequencies because of signature guitar. So, you know, when headphones are playing good, you can give them any track and enjoy every single aspect. Basses here is pretty engaging, but we are here because of treble, and the percussions here sounding pretty natural and fairly balanced, fitting the overall representation of this model. Speaking about the pairings, actually there are two opposite versions. One says like they require 1 watt of power or 2 watts of power, better 5 watts of power, or better plug them to your wall socket directly. Others saying that it's a model that can be used with portative dubs and enjoy. Actually, truth is somewhere in between. With a nice powerful dub like iBasso, for example, you definitely can drive them to a good level. But good desktop amplifier can give you additional like 10% of sonic boost, so to unveil their absolutely full potential you'll need some desktop device. But if you have a powerful player, so why not? They really enjoyable even with portable sources. They are really sensitive to the source itself, so for example, if you want to make them sound more musical, you can pair them with nice tube amplifier or digital tonal converters, like for example with X-Duo ones. If you want to focus on the microcontrast, there are a lot of natural solid-state digital tonal converters and amplifiers, so whatever you like. And you can tweak their sound with different modes. Speaking about the comparisons, actually their main rival is HiFiMan Sandara. Sandara is more natural, more monitoring, more focusing on the micro contrast. Sandara is for those who want to go that audiophilic path and get the smallest nuances, get music sliced into tiniest slices to explore and observe. And this model is also technical, but less focused on that and more musical. There are a lot of different dynamic driver models, for example, but usually they are more V-shaped, so I don't see much sense in comparing. Actually, I've read somewhere that Sandy Iva, if I remember right, the name of that $600 planar magnetic headphones built with same driver, but it's a good example when caps and dampening changing sound in a pretty noticeable way, because Iva sounding more musical, more organic, but they cost $300, 3 times more. They cost about $600. So, to cut the things short, Takstar managed to create the model that totally worth its price. It's not like giant killer or something like that, unless you have a really straight hands and you can do some mods that improve their sound. But for this $200 you'll get a good technical sound that at the same time is pretty musical. It's not something fun and V-shaped, and at the same time it's not natural and monitoring, so they are balancing in between, delivering a really good value, at least to my taste. So thank you for listening, thank you for your attention, and have a nice day.